Rave in here this evening. A sea of yellow and red as we get underway here in Rome. They don't do big nights quite like the Eternal City, and for Roma they'll be hoping that they move forward once more into the Europa League final. Beat the side that they beat in last year's semi-final in doing so. Here's Leverkusen though with the early touch of the ball. It's for the captain Tar for the centre of defence. He's out towards Tapsoba. He's back now in towards the path of Andrich in the middle of his own half. Head out towards Tar once more. He's got Cape out on the left hand side. Forward it goes beyond the halfway. Launch forward on his left foot, but it's going to be left for Vila to see it go for a goal kick. So early stage in this one, goalless here. Goal kick taken short out towards Chris Small to the far left hand side into the possession of Spinazzola. Forward along the left hand channel, kept in play by Pellegrini. Ball down, but one back by Leverkusen on the halfway. Possession in the path of Tapsoba, who's moved out from to the right hand side of the fence this evening. Goes back towards Kovar between the sticks and short to Jonathan Tar. Tar to Hincapi, snuffed out by Zabala for Bayer Leverkusen throw on the left hand side, adjacent towards their own penalty spot. Well, for as good a job as Xabi Alonso's done at Leverkusen, is as good a job as Daniel De Rossi has done at Roma in his first senior management position. The 40-year-old was appointed as an interim head coach on January the 16th after the sacking of Jose Mourinho, and has been given an endorsement by the owners. Called him a coach for the foreseeable future. The ninth when he joined, they're currently fifth, and fifth may well be good enough for a Champions League spot. Indeed it will in Italy come the beginning of next season because of performances across the three European competitions this campaign. In fact, three Italian sides in action this evening. Driving forward now is Costante on the right hand side towards the middle of the Leverkusen half. Short to Dybala, switching the play out towards the left, but stepping out is Stanisic to hook the ball out of play. First time on his right foot for a throw into Roma down the left hand side in the middle of the Bayer Leverkusen half. 2 minutes on the clock, Roma 0, Leverkusen 0 here in the Europa League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. This is Smalling just beyond the halfway in the centre. Cross to a ball launched on his right foot. It's going to be snuffed out by Stanisic and headed back into the path of Kovar between the sticks for Bayer Leverkusen, who's been their specialist when it's come to this particular competition. Has started and played every single minute of every single game. Meanwhile, in the Conference League, Fiorentina have taken the lead against Club Brugge. 6 minutes gone in that one, 1-0. Ricardo Sotil with the goal from Fiorentina in that one. And you can follow that game elsewhere on the Flash Score app as Tapsoba puts the ball out of play for a Roma throw on the left hand side. 15 yards inside the Leverkusen half, and towards the path of Paredes inside his own territory. The atmosphere a little bit misty, not because of the weather conditions, but due to the sheer amount of flares and pyrotechnics that were let off prior to kick-off. It really was quite the picture, quite the scene, with all the flares that were going off right in front of us on the halfway line. A sea of yellow and a sea of red. As the ball goes back into the path of Kovar. Being put under pressure by Lukaku, who's back in the starting 11 for Roma this evening after missing the last 3 games due to injury. There was a bit of a call because Tammy Abraham had let in a late equaliser in that game against Napoli on Sunday, but Daniel De Rossi saying with Lukaku fit, he was the man that was going to start. Grimaldo plays it out towards Wirtz, left hand side, 30 yards out from goal, brings it infield in towards the possession of Xhaka, who has a go from around about 25 yards out on his left foot, but it goes wide and over the goal as our view from in front of us on the halfway line is just somewhat impeded by the smoke that bells the air here at the Stadio Olimpico. Short goal kick by Vila, being put under pressure by Adil. Smalling on the left hand side, he's back in the lineup as well after picking up a knock himself. One of 3 players back in the 11, but it's one back by Tapsoba here for Bayer Leverkusen, 25 yards out from goal. This is Frimpong in towards the possession of Andrich, giving a bit of the ball towards the penalty area, but it's going to be allowed to run out of play for a goal kick. Be taken by Vila for Roma. Just under 5 minutes on the clock gone here in Rome. Roma 0, Leverkusen 0 here in this Europa League semi-final first leg on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Well, Leverkusen got here courtesy of beating West Ham 3-1 on aggregate in the quarter-finals. They won the first leg 2-0 in Leverkusen. 2 late goals helped them en route for a 1-1 draw in the second leg. Antonio giving West Ham the lead in that second leg before Jeremy Frimpong scored with a minute of normal time to go to rescue a point and to rescue their unbeaten season, their invincible season right now. 46 games played, 46 games without defeat. Their last defeat and their last loss came in the last day of the Bundesliga season last term against Bochum, when with the throwing on this near touchline. 5.5 play. The ball played out by Mancini out to the path of Spinazzola. It was the edge of the box, but free stop play. I don't know what for. It's quite difficult actually with all the smoke in front of us just to make a read as to when and what is happening at point, but just having a look at Flashpoint just a bit further up down the field. Andrich bringing down Lukaku, and Daniel De Rossi having a chat with his assistants about that. So Roma with a free kick, which is taken quickly 5 yards from the edge of the Leverkusen half, brought back by Mancini into the path of Zila inside his own penalty area, lays it out to the left hand side into Spinazzola. Forward it goes, right foot along the left hand channel, going to find Lukaku towards the edge of the box, chested down third time by Jonathan Tah towards the far corner flag, right hand corner flag as they defend. Short to Tapsoba, forward it goes with Dybala chasing towards the halfway, flicked on by Smalling. Lukaku going to went towards the edge of the box, but it's going to be headed down by Tah in towards the path of Kovar and the Leverkusen goal. Just under 7 minutes gone here at Stadio Olimpico in this Europa League semi-final first leg. Goalless between Roma and Leverkusen, also goalless between Marseille and Atalanta in France. 10 minutes gone in that particular match. Aston Villa have also taken the lead against Olympiacos by a 1-0 in the Conference League. Listen to that one elsewhere on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service this evening. But Leverkusen open, Roma up for the first time this evening. Adil, edge of the penalty area, inside the box he goes, that's never on his left foot, blocked by Mancini, comes back out to him again, plays it back, first time effort by Xhaka on the edge of the D, left footed, but again blocked by the Italians. It's one back by Andrich for Leverkusen, ball down first time by Grimaldo, back it goes into the path of Incapi. Andrich now towards Xhaka. Tapsoba on the halfway for Leverkusen, plays it out, looking to thread it through the middle to the path of Vert. One back by Roma, it was played out first time by Paredes, and it goes out towards the left hand channel. Tapsoba almost beaten in the end by El Shaarawy, but he sees the ball go out of play for throwing to Leverkusen on the left hand side. Atalanta have taken the lead against Marseille. 11 minutes gone there. Goals everywhere you look in the Europa League and the Conference League this evening. Dybala played short in towards the possession of Paredes. Now towards El Shaarawy on that far left hand side, being forced back by Tapsoba, picked up by Smalling, goes along the line and in towards the possession of Mancini, lofted over the top, looking to find Lukaku, but snuffed out by Tah. It's going to be picked up by Grimaldo on this far left hand touchline, but it's recovered by Dybala, one back by Karsdorp, and then it was looking to be threaded through back in towards the possession of Mancini, but the ball's going to run out of play for a Bayer Leverkusen goal kick. Let's get more on the Aston Villa goal. It's Leon Bailey on the score sheet for Unai Emery's side. That's our star game this evening on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. In fact, that goal's been disallowed by VAR, so it stays 0-0 at Villa Park. That goal disallowed there. Atalanta taking the lead against Marseille by 0-0. Good start for the Italian side this evening, and in the end it was Gianluca Scamacca with the goal. He was the man who did all the damage at Anfield in the quarter-finals and has got an early opener against Marseille in the semi-finals in France this evening. Meanwhile, we're watching Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 0 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. It's Chris Smalling, he plays it out towards Spinazzola on the far left-hand side. Paredes being forced back in towards the path of his goalkeeper Vilo, who's being put under pressure by Vert, but lofted forward first time, left-footed, flicked up by Tapsoba. It's contested on halfway. There's two Roma bodies in the better of the one. Dybala turning on the half with two up against him. Now looking to thread it through towards Lukaku was Pellegrini, but it's on back by Grimaldo for Leverkusen. The internal player back towards Kovar. with Lukaku chasing, goes out towards Tapsoba. Andrich, there's one back by Roma. Dybala, edge of the penalty, has an effort at goal. Curled on his left foot towards the edge of the D, but Kovar able to dive down low to his left to catch the ball for Leverkusen. First real chance of the game falling Roma's way. This is a deal for Leverkusen towards Tar, midway inside his own half for the German visitors. And towards the possession of Andrich, who is looking for options just a tad bit further forward. Played short to Tar. It's available on the left hand side, but it's a direct forward option towards the path of Stanisic, who made the run forward. Cleared away by Roma. Pellegrini playing the ball out into the path of El Shaarawy. He's got Frimpong for company on this far side. The left hand side is Roma attack. Forward towards the possession of Cristante. Out to the right hand side. Driven forward by Mancini down that flank. 10 yards inside Leverkusen territory, being forced back by Deal and in towards the possession of Cristante. Along the line towards Paredes, advancing in towards Leverkusen territory, out towards the far left hand side into El Shaarawy. Spinazzola in possession. Back towards Smalling, through the centre, just beyond the halfway. Short to Paredes once more. Forward and out to that left hand channel once again, where Dybala was looking to be an interested party in the ball, but it's one back by Leverkusen, and driving forward is Grimaldo through the middle, plays it out to the right hand side into Wirtz, steps in field towards the edge of the D, out towards a Deal on the left hand side, edge of the penalty area, back towards Grimaldo, looking for options down the right, has to step inside through the middle. Wirtz comes inside himself, it's free up against, and then looks to play the ball through, threaded for the side of his right foot in towards the path of Frimpong inside the area, but it's cleared away by Roma as far as Tapsoba on the halfway. Goes out to Capi, and now towards Adil. Capi again for Leverkusen towards Tar on the halfway. Goes out towards Tapsoba once more. Still inside their own half, and now forward in towards opposition territory, but temporarily one back by Roma, only as far as Adil, who now has possession on the left hand side. 10 yards inside the Roma half. Tar along the line towards Tapsoba again. This is Xhaka. Well, a lot of people in the build-up said that this was going to be an intense game, a bit of a chess match, and so far this has been the case. But space is almost opened up for Grimaldo, but for a crucial interception by Paredes, Roma managing to clear the ball away. Flipped up by Talo for finding Dybala around about 5 yards inside opposition territory. So Tapsoba with possession shortened towards the path of Andrich. Tapsoba once again, now to Xhaka on the halfway in the middle. He's got options either side. Plays it short towards Grimaldo, just off centre to the left. Along that left-hand channel, he finds him Capi. Now to Xhaka once more. Andrich, and now Tar. Tapsoba, still Leverkusen trapped on the halfway. The ball goes back into the path of Kovar between the sticks, who may be able to get Leverkusen forward. Lukaku makes chase as he launches the ball forward through the lace of his right foot, flicked up by Smalling, but one back by Andrich on the halfway. Now a little bit more pace to proceedings as far as Leverkusen are concerned. Grimaldo out to Adil, steps in field from the left hand side, gets a better of Karsdorp, out towards Grimaldo again, left hand side, edge of the box, into the edge of the area where Wirtz made the underlapping run. Goes back to Grimaldo again. Spaces open up. Is it Capi with a cross in? Left footed, looking to find Frimpong at the back post, but it's going to be watched by El Shaarawy out for Roma throw. Bruges have equalised against Fiorentina from the penalty spot. 1-1 in that one in the Europa Conference League, and you can listen to that game elsewhere this evening across Flash Score. There's also a Premier League commentary for you this evening at Stamford Bridge, where it is Chelsea 1, Tottenham 0. Elsewhere, you can also listen to in the Europa League, Marseille 0, Atalanta 1, Aston Villa 0, Olympiacos 0 at Villa Park in the Conference League. Meanwhile here, 14.5 minutes on the clock, Roma 0, Leverkusen 0. This Europa League semi-final first leg on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. And with a free kick on the left-hand side, around about 5 yards from the edge of the Leverkusen half, taken short, and now Smalling has possession in the middle, close towards the halfway, plays it out towards the path of Mancini and back to It's Villa between the sticks. Meanwhile, Olympiacos have taken the lead at Villa Park by 1-0. Villa, who had a goal ruled out, Neil Bailey strike around about 10 minutes in, disallowed by VAR. Now Olympiacos have found an opening goal of their own. 18 minutes gone in that one, and that can be listened to elsewhere. Cross flash score this evening. Villa launches the ball long, being put under pressure. We'll find Lukaku on the right hand side, who was tugged to the ground by Tar, but it's going to be picked up by Karsdorp, who then made the run across, and will then trickle out of play, and the yellow card for Tar will be given for the tug on Lukaku. The referee given the benefit of the doubt in terms of allowing play to go on. Goes back to the semi-final stages. The risk of players being suspended for the final comes and goes, otherwise known as the Paul Gascoigne rule. But Roma do have a free kick. Referee has in the end decided to pull play back after there was no tangible advantage. 16 minutes gone. Roma 0, Leverkusen 0 here in this Europa League semi-final. First leg on the Flash Score Live audio commentary services. Going to be taken around about 30 to 35 yards out from goal on the right hand side as Roma move their way forward in this opening period. It's going to be Dybala to take, who rolls up his socks, which prior to that had his shin pad showing, and a shin pad which has a cartoon caricature of himself. But it's going to be thrown in by Paredes, right footed. No one was really prepared for it, and it just scatters out of play for Bayer Leverkusen goal kick. Chances against this side may be few and far between for Roma this evening, and so they'll be disappointed to have let an opportunity like that go to waste. 16 and a half gone. Roma 0, Leverkusen 0. But they have possession again on the right hand side with Paredes, who goes to ground, wanted the free kick. It's him against Badil, and the free kick does go Paredes' way, much to the frustration of Xavi Alonso, who's being ushered back to his bench by the fourth official this evening, who's Rade Ovensovic of Slovenia. Cabby with the goal for Olympiacos at Villa Park against Aston Villa, and there's been an equaliser in France as well. Marseille won, Atalanta won in that tie, which you can listen to elsewhere here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Kovar gathering the ball for Leverkusen after a Roma ball over the top, was looking to find Lukaku but couldn't find its intended destination. Taps over out towards Stanisic, taps over again, goes back in towards the possession of Kovar between the sticks, and now Tar forward through the middle, was looking to find its way in towards the path of Grimaldo, but it's one back by Roma. Dybala on the right hand side. Isla Peltier's got two up against him. He's got both Nkape and Tar up against him. Manages to pull it back into the path of Karsdorp, and about 30 yards from goal. This is Cristante being forced back towards the halfway and towards Chris Smalling, who plays it along towards Spinazzola in his own half on the left hand side. El Shaarawy's been forced all the way back. Paredes back towards Chris Smalling now. Cristante out towards his right, and to his left hand side was Paredes. On through the middle towards Pellegrini. Paredes now driving down the left hand side inside Bayer Leverkusen territory. Chris Smalling in the centre, short and along towards Mancini to the right hand side. Threaded through the middle and in towards the possession of Pellegrini. Smalling on the half, out towards the left and out towards Paredes. Reinforcements do move their way forward, but not tangibly forward for his liking. Mancini threads the ball across from right to left, and inside the penalty area Roma go. The ball played back from the byline, looking to find Lukaku, and then in the end it was stabbed out of play by Andrich for Bayer Leverkusen, and the first set piece of the game is going to be a Roma corner. Ball played out in towards the path of El Shaarawy, pulls the trigger back in towards the path of Lukaku. He couldn't quite get there, and in the end it was actually Granit Xhaka who then got a connection to the ball. He's thankful that they went out of play for, well, it should have been a corner kick, but the flag had subsequently gone up for offside, so it's going to be a Bayer Leverkusen free kick. Bemba with the equalising goal for Marseille against Atalanta in the first leg of that particular tie. So Marseille 1, Atalanta 1. You can listen to that one elsewhere this evening on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Leverkusen with possession on the halfway on the right hand side in towards the possession of Jonathan Tah. Goes out to Hincapi on the left-hand side. 5 yards inside opposition territory. Grimaldo loses out, and Karsdorp has it for Roma on the right-hand side. Moves in field. 35 yards out from goal as far as Roma are concerned. Shifted out, first time crossing by Cristante. Right-footed, comes of a Hincapi, and it's going to be a corner kick to Roma. And these are the types of moments where this crowd inside the Olimpico really will up the decibel level. These are the moments where they've really got to pay dividends. The Giallorossi, 20 minutes gone, their first corner of the game to be taken on the right-hand side, to be taken by Paulo Dybala, who's going to swing this in on his left foot. Use one of the microphone atmospheric mics out of the way. Dybala, corner comes in, left-footed towards the back stick. It's just about brought down and in towards the path of Lukaku, who hits the post. It was brought down by Paredes, who then flicked it back into the path of Lukaku, who had a glance header which hits the top right-hand post and out of play. And it wasn't the greatest corner by Dybala, but recovered well by Paredes, who then hooks it back in to the melting pot and in towards the path of Romelu Lukaku, who from around about 10 yards out had a glance header towards the top right hand corner, come off of the post, off the woodwork and out of play. First major chance of the game falling to Roma midway through this first half. Ball goes back to Kova between the sticks, flicked out to Hincapi. And on the left-hand side, looking to find a deal, who has been brought down by Karsdorp, and then referees pull play back, much to his frustration. And he said that the free kick's gone the other way, going in the direction of Roma. And Xabi Alonso is absolutely incensed in the Bayer Leverkusen dugout. Ball clipped over the top. The initial contact was, it was Mancini up against a deal in the end. It was a bit of a 6 of one and half a dozen of another, and free kick goes in Roma's direction, out towards the left-hand side, 5 yards inside Leverkusen territory. Dybala was back towards the halfway. Paredes through the middle, was looking to find Cristante. Cleared away by Xhaka, goes out towards Florian Wirtz, who's got Frimpong making the overlapping one on the right-hand side, and he's free inside the penalty area. Jerome Frimpong has an effort on his right foot which only finds the side netting. Golden opportunity for him, golden opportunity for Bayer Leverkusen. Wirtz unleashes Frimpong, who's away, gives a better of Spinazzola, and inside the penalty area takes a touch on his right foot to set himself second time, with Zvila on rushing in the Roma goal. Has a stab at it, but can only find the side netting from around about 12 yards out. His chance of the game. 23 minutes gone, it's still goalless between Roma and Leverkusen, but the opportunities beginning to appear in the game. And now here's Lukaku out towards El Shaarawy, who slits beneath the surface, and now recovered by Stanisic for Leverkusen. But with El Shaarawy still down, the referee is blown up just to check on his welfare and well-being. Into the surface, and then, well, there's nothing to, and then was collided into the mid-drift bar of Andrich, which I can imagine wasn't a pleasant experience. So Roma have hit the crossbar, Leverkusen have hit the side netting. Still goalless midway through this first half of this Europa League semi-final first leg between AS Roma and Bayer Leverkusen on the Stadio Olimpico. Reminder, the winners of this tie will meet either Atalanta or Marseille. That game one apiece midway through the first half, the first leg there. They'll meet in the final in Dublin on the 22nd of May, a game which we will be bringing to you here live on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. Play restarts with a drop ball where Leverkusen have possession, forward by Wirtz, rediscovered by Roma. Cristante forward in towards the path of Dybala, who couldn't quite get his foot in right, and then intercepting Xhaka, who then gave away a free kick. Again, much to the frustration of the Leverkusen players. Dybala still down on the floor, clutching his left leg. Dybala was trying to get his foot in and then try to get himself away on that left foot, and then Xhaka just comes in and brings him down from behind. Another set-piece opportunity rears its head for Roma. The previous free kick was taken too quickly and was quickly scattered out of play. In fact, Leverkusen didn't have to deal with it at all. But this will be different. It's around about 25 yards out. It's central. It's a perfect type of range for something to dip up and down. Maybe more 30 yards out, if the truth be told. 25 minutes on the clock. Roma 0, Leverkusen 0. Big opportunity from the Roma set piece. Movar readies his Leverkusen wall. It's going to be free in there as François Letexier, the French referee, just makes sure that the spray is put down. It's Dybala to take with 30 yards out, left-footed, and it goes around about a yard or two over the bar, just a bit wider target. So another opportunity from a set piece for Roma, which goes a begging. 26 minutes on the clock here, and it is goalless in this particular Europa League semi-final tie. First leg on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Brought down by Wirtz on the halfway in the centre. One back though by Paredes, who shifts it out first time to the left-hand side into El Shawari. Moving his way forward with Spinazzola on the overlap, but it's short towards Pellegrini. Olympiacos now have added a second against Aston Villa. 29 minutes gone there. Aston Villa 0, Olympiacos 2. This is Karsdorp inside the penalty. Pulls it back towards Dybala, who slips, and then the ball was half cleared away by Stanisic. Then it came off of the back of the left leg of Paulo Dybala and had a play for a goal kick. That, if it did find its way on target and in, would have been one of the most bizarre Europa League semi-final goals. Karsdorp pulls the ball back towards the edge of the penalty area, just the line that separates the penalty area from the D, towards Dybala, who slipped from around about 18 yards out. And the opportunity came and went from there, but the ball's given away. It's come out inside the penalty area, pulls it back to Florian Wirtz, who makes no mistake and converts from around about 12 yards out, right-footed in towards the bottom right-hand corner, and it is first blood Bayer Leverkusen in this Europa League semi-final tie. It's his fourth Europa League goal of the season. The player who won the Young Player of the Season in this competition last term has put Leverkusen in front here at the Olimpico. 27 and a half minutes played. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1, and it's Florian Wirtz on the score sheets. Well, it was Karsdorp who thought he could play the ball back, and it was picked up by Grimaldo, who looked around, surveyed the surroundings, and then cut the ball back in towards the path of Florian Wirtz. And from around about 12 yards out, first time, side foots it past helpless Miles Villa in the AS Roma goal to give Bayer Leverkusen the lead. Well, he's been one of the stars of this season, has Florian Wirtz, and that's his 18th goal across all competitions this term, and his first blood to the Bundesliga champions. 28 and a half minutes gone. It's Roma 0, Leverkusen 1 here in this Europa League semi-final on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Kabi with the second for Olympiacos, incidentally, against Aston Villa, but Leverkusen here really smelling blood. Wirtz out towards the path of Adil, who goes down. It's going to be a free kick to Leverkusen on the right hand side, around about 25 yards out from goal. Pellegrini, the man who brought it down, the Roman captain, will receive their first yellow card of the evening. And this is what good sides do. They can just be passive in games and wait for the opportunity to come, and when they did, they'd struck, and now they look like they've got hold all the cards as far as this tie is concerned. Approaching the half-hour mark, leading by a goal to nil. Free kick on this right-hand side for the Bundesliga champions. It's going to be swung in by Wirtz or Ronaldo. It's swung in, right-footed towards the back stick, cleared away by Pellegrini. He's going to come back out to Andrić, who's going to watch it go for a throw on this left-hand side, around about 20 yards from goal, but Robert Andrić is just going to take it a few yards back from that. At least that's the plan. He's going to leave it now for Ronaldo. Past the half-hour mark. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. This is Capi now towards Jonathan Tah. Taps over inside his own half, midway inside his own half for Bayer Leverkusen. Threads it forward along the right-hand side. Looks to unleash Frimpong, and he is unleashed inside the penalty area. Plays it back into the path of Wirtz, spilled by the keeper, and eventually held by Miles Vila. Beautifully cut back by Frimpong. In towards the path of Wirtz, inside the D, strikes it first time, side-footed through his right foot, initially spilt by Vila, before then eventually catching second time. Roma living a very charmed life, and if they're not careful they could find themselves further behind. Smalling chests it back towards Vila between the sticks, who then quickly recycles it out towards Spinazzola. El Shaarawy being brought deep back into proceedings. Ball threaded forward, looking to find Lukaku. Cleared away by Tapsoba. It's going to be a throw into Roma. El Shaarawy to take left-hand side, middle of the Leverkusen half. Forward towards Dybala. Edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side. Looking to pull it back, looking to find Lukaku at the near post. It's still up in the air, up for contention, but in the end, held by Kovar, who was then brought down by a couple of Roma players. And in particular, Cristante. It's going to be a free kick to Bayer Leverkusen. 32 gone, 1-0 to the German side here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. A reminder of our other feature games in the Premier League. Chelsea 1, Tottenham 0, Marseille 1, Atalanta 1 in the Europa League, and the Conference League, Aston Villa 0, Olympiacos 0, in Fiorentina 1, Club Brugge 1. This is Xhaka, plays it out towards the path of Capi, left-hand side, in the middle of the Leverkusen half. Xhaka once more. Free up against him, now towards Frimpong, who dances his way clear in the middle, in towards the penalty, looking to find Florian Wirtz. He does do so, but the byline, up against Smalling, has to play it back to Ronaldo. Edge of the box, cross goes in, left footed, looking to find a deal. It's cleared away in the end by Paredes for Roma. Now it's the captain, Pellegrini, looking to play it forward, but snuffed out by Leverkusen, who have possession back with Wirtz, left-hand side, 10 yards inside the Roma half. Tah into the path of Xhaka. Wirtz once more, looking for options forward. Steps infield and plays it in towards Andrić in the centre. Short to Xhaka. Wirtz, Andrić with three up against him, now towards Capi. Tah, Xhaka. Wirtz turning and driving through the middle, out towards a deal, has to get his foot in right towards the edge of the box, slips it out towards Grimaldo, left hand side, inside the air, towards Frimpong, who fires it wide from in and around the penalty spot. It was pulled back in towards Jeremy Frimpong's path by Grimaldo, and from in around the penalty spot, on the turn, has an effort through the side of his right foot, around about a yard or two wide of the left-hand post. Vila died down towards his right. He probably would have got it if it was on target. And Leverkusen pushing forward for a second. Sartor Xhaka, in terms of total attempts in this game, 3 for Roma in comparison to the 5 of Leverkusen so far. They move forward again with Hincapi, 10 yards inside opposition territory. This is Ronaldo inside his own half, short towards Jonathan Tah. Tapsoba in possession now, on the halfway, looking for options, steps inside, has to go along the line towards Hincapi, still inside his own half. Ronaldo short towards Xhaka. Hincapi forced back towards Kovar, between the sticks for Leverkusen. Well, Bayer Leverkusen, 7 more games stand between them and an invincible season. That includes 3 in the Europa League if they make it through to the final, a DFB Pokal German Cup final, and 3 games in the Bundesliga. Stand between them and becoming the first side to have a completely unbeaten season. Of course, they multitude of competitions. Meanwhile, Fiorentina had taken the lead against Club Brugge by 2-1. And that would mean if they did achieve that, then it would be 54 games played and 54 games without defeat. Lukaku flicking the ball on, going to find Dybala for an instant response to Roma, but it's going to be one back by Tar for Leverkusen. Short to Grimaldo. Tar up against Karsdorp. His way, trying to get the better of free. Grimaldo's still on the deck. And suddenly things have just got a little bit heated between the two sides as the ball went out of play. Karsdorp still down on the deck and clutching his left knee. Grimaldo initially brought down by Cristante before then Karsdorp being kicked from behind by Jonathan Tah right in front of the watchful eyes of the Roma manager Daniele De Rossi, who's having a chat with Luca Mancini. As for Karsdorp, he's back up on his feet, but this ground, which was a fever pitch prior to kick-off, has just been muted somewhat, and that would have been part of the game plan for Xabi Alonso's side in such an atmospheric stadium, to just try and keep things as calm as possible, try and shut the crowd up, shut the noise up, as Suarez Ledhetier trying to shut a deal up, who got between the taking of the free kick by Karsdorp. Deal, who so far this season scored 9 goals in 36 games, the 23-year-old. Back in towards the possession of Mancini, along back over to Svila, short towards Chris Smalling. From Verts keeping him close company, but given away, and it's Xhaka on the move for Leverkusen, 30 yards out from goal in the centre, 2 up against him. Gathered well by Cristante now. Enzo Pellegrini plays it out towards Paulo Dybala, steps inside on the right hand side, brought down by Hincapié, but fair in the eyes of the referee. Granit Xhaka plays it out towards Robert Andrecht, who's got Frimpong just in front of him. Verts short, 25 yards out of goal, has a distance, takes a deflection on his right foot and wide of goal. It was worth a try from that kind of range. That's an effort through the laces of his right foot, but scurries wide of target. So 38 minutes on the clock. It's Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1 in the Europa League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Ball played out towards the halfway line on this left-hand side for Roma. El Shaarawy dinked onto the path of Lukaku, had his back to goal and Tar up against him, but it's going to be held by Matej Kovar in the Bayer Leverkusen goal. Reminder that we will have the Premier League back for you at the weekend on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. We'll have Arsenal v Bournemouth in the early kick-off from 12:30. Then the 3 o'clock kick-offs, Brentford up against Fulham, Burnley against Newcastle, and Sheffield United against Nottingham Forest for the late game, Man City versus Wolves. And then Sunday, Brighton Aston Villa, Chelsea against West Ham, and Liverpool up against Tottenham from 4:30. On Monday night, we will be at Selhurst Park to watch Crystal Palace up against Manchester United. And then we do it all again in Europe next week. Dybala was looking to get the ball through from Lukaku on the right-hand side, but it was a heavy flick on by the Belgian striker, and now the play will go for Bayer Leverkusen. Goal kick, 6 out from half-time. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1. As I say, we'll have more action from all 3 European competitions next week. PSG against Dortmund on Tuesday night will be live with you on Flash Score. Then on Wednesday night, Real Madrid up against Bayern Munich, and then Thursday we'll have the Conference League and the Europa League semi-finals, so the second leg of Atalanta against Marseille and Bayer Leverkusen up against Roma, all live with you here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. 39.5 minutes gone here at the Stadio Olimpico. It's Florian Wirtz's goal in the 28th minute that separates the two sides. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1, and Leverkusen going to go again. Frimpong brought down, Wirtz still in possession. Hincapié through the middle, 30 yards out, edge of the area, plays it out towards Grimaldo, edge of the area, left-hand side. So Karsdorp up against him, back towards Xhaka, looked to play it in on his left foot, but comes off of Dybala in the end, and out for a throw into Leverkusen to be taken by Grimaldo, left-hand side in the middle of the Roma half. Back towards Jonathan Tah, Tabsoba in possession now. 5 minutes out from the Roma 0, Leverkusen 1. Now forward by Frimpong, he goes down to the ground on the right-hand side, but manages to still come out with the ball. Out towards Wirtz, following the pass by Granit Xhaka. Wirtz, 25 yards out from goal in a central position. Along the line towards Andrak, has an effort from distance, spilt by the keeper, nearly fell for Frimpong, cleared away by Mancini in the end for Roma. And now they come out with the ball, and Paulo Dybala will drive his way forward. He went down and he's won a free kick, much to the frustration of Robert Andreit and the Bayer Leverkusen players. So Andreit had the initial effort on goal. With the ace of his right foot from distance, it was parried away by Mileshvila. Roma looking to find something just before the break, and the final 4 minutes plus stoppage time that remain in this opening period. This is Mancini on the halfway. Everybody back from a Leverkusen perspective. It's a sea of white in front of Mancini, who's forced to retreat back towards Vila. Adil putting in some kind of pressure before it goes along that left-hand channel. It's Dybala's all the way back towards the edge of his own penalty area. That's how pinned in Roma are. Now Smalling looks to get the attack started. Short in towards the possession of Paredes. Goes out in towards Spinazzola on the left-hand side. Goes out of play towards the edge of the Bayer Leverkusen box. Spinazzola takes the throw-in quick and short towards El Shaarawy. In towards the box it is. Lukaku back to goal. And it's Pellegrini with an effort. First time curled on his right foot. And it was around about half a yard past the post. Cleared away by Tah, only half cleared, in towards the path of Pellegrini, who has a real good effort, side-footed on his right foot from around about 20 yards out. I think Kova would have got to it if it was on target, but it was just a whisker past the post. It was the bottom right-hand post as he was attacking. 42 and a half minutes on the clock. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1, and Leverkusen, who have been quite comfortable in the last 5-10 minutes or so, just been given a bit of a warning shot there. Andreit and Lukaku having a bit of a tangle for possession. Andreit went down. It's a Leverkusen free kick on the halfway. Adil, just a few seconds prior to that, was involved in a bit of a flashpoint with Cristante. It's going to be a free kick to Leverkusen. It's hard to take on the halfway. Just off centre from the left-hand side. Ready for by Tabsoba towards the edge of the penalty area and towards Stanisic. Put it back in towards the area, but the ball had gone originally anyway, so it's going to be a Roma goal kick. Well, it's been a Europa League run, which, when you consider Bayer Leverkusen of a side that are unbeaten in 46 games this season, has been a little bit more dramatic than they would have liked. They got through their tie against West Ham in the end, 3-1 on aggregate. In the last 16, they had to beat Karabakh 5-4 of Azerbaijan on aggregate, courtesy of goals by Patrick Schick in the 3rd and 8th minutes of stoppage time in the second leg. And as a matter of fact, they've scored in the 88th minute plus in each of their previous 4 Europa League matches. Lukaku back to Pellegrini, out towards El Shaarawy in space, but he just couldn't quite get his footing together on the left-hand side, around about 20 yards out from goal. So it's going to go for a phone to Bayer Leverkusen on the right-hand side, and they can just alleviate a little bit of the pressure for now. A minute out plus stoppage time from the break. Leverkusen leading courtesy of Florian Wirtz's 28th minute goal to 0. Ball cleared away by the German champions. Flicked on though by Smalling. Recovered into the path of Pellegrini, who dinks it down towards Karsdorp. Up and over the top from the right-hand side and brought down first time on the right foot of El Shaarawy. Spinazzola towards El Shaarawy on the underlap, towards the corner flag on the left-hand side. Has got Stanisic for company. Cross goes in by Pellegrini, flicked on and flicked out of play. It's going to be a corner to Roma. The intended target was Cristante. It's going to be a corner kick to Roma in the final few seconds of this first half. They'll be taken on the right hand side by Paulo Dybala, who's going to swing it in on his left foot. The 45 minutes here in Rome have elapsed. It's just going to be the solitary minute added on for stoppage time. Brought in by Dybala on the right hand side, and then came off the shin pad of Granit Xhaka and thankfully into the arms of Kovar. And now Leverkusen look to launch the counter-attack. This is Wirtz driving it well on the right-hand side, around about 30 yards out from goal now, in towards the area, towards Adil, pulls it back into the path of Grimaldo. Here's an effort, cleared away, Adil plays it across the Frimpong. It was too delicate in the end, too intricate, and Roma managed to clear their lines. There was a golden opportunity on the break, but a lovely ball over the top into the path of Lukaku on the left-hand side, towards the corner flag. Does want to keep it in play, but the flag goes up for offside against the Roma striker. Well, it's a lovely pass forward by Cristante in towards the path of Romelu Lukaku. He was offside. Wirtz has an effort for the side of his left foot, cleared away, only half cleared away, and then it fell to Frimpong, ran about 6 yards out, and then couldn't convert from close range, and Leverkusen will finish off the half with a free kick on the right hand side, 15 yards on the edge of the Roma half. Forward it goes along that right hand channel, and that will be the final action of the first half, where Roma did start brightly here in Rome, but it was Bayer Leverkusen who took the lead 28 minutes in. Florian Wirtz, who from around about close range, around about 12 yards out, slotted the ball home on his right foot in towards the bottom right hand corner after Karsdorp gave away possession cheaply. In the end, at the break, it's Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1. Out late for the second period, but we are about to get underway. It's Florian Wirtz's goal in the 18th minute, which is the difference between the two sides here as we head into the second half of this Europa League semi-final first leg. AS Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 1 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Florian Wirtz, who got the goal, is over the kick-off for this second half. Francois Texler, the referee, gets us underway for the second period. Just to go through the two 11s for you. Roma 4-3-3, no change with either side of the break. Svilo in goal, Karsdorp, Mancini, Smalling, Spinazzola the back four, Paredes, Cristante and Pellegrini the midfield three, whilst El Shaarawy, Lukaku and Dybala are the three up top. As for Bayer Leverkusen, they're 3-4-3 this evening. Kovar between the sticks, Stanisic, Tar and Tapsoba in defence, Frimpong, Andrić, Xhaka and Ngape leading forward in midfield. Florian Wirtz, the goal scorer, Adil and Ronaldo from right to left up top for them this evening. Mind as well that we have three other games from the Europa League and the Conference League this evening. Live commentary for the second half in Marseille, where it's currently Marseille 1, Atalanta 1, 49 minutes gone there. And also UEFA Conference League commentary where Aston Villa trail Olympiacos by 2-1 at Villa Park. Still in the break in that one. Whilst in the Premier League, 13 minutes ago, Chelsea 2-0 to the good against Tottenham Hotspurs. Roma go to a positive start in the second half. El Shaarawy in possession goes back into the path of Dybala, out to the right hand side into Cristante in the middle of Leverkusen territory, forward to Dybala, back towards the halfway in towards Chris Smalling. This is Paredes in possession now, short towards the possession of Pellegrini. Paredes on the ball, Spinazzola left hand side, 5 yards inside Leverkusen territory, has to play it back in towards the path of Chris Smalling inside his own half for Roma. 20 seconds of this second half gone. Roma got to this stage by beating fellow Italian outfit AC Milan by 3-1 on aggregate. Won the first leg 1-0. Mancini's goal in the 17th minute as Van Dijk wins it back here for Leverkusen, driving forward through the middle, goes out in towards the path of Frimpong, right hand side, edge of the penalty area, goes back in towards the path of Stanisic. Tatsoba on the halfway, now inside his own half on the right flank, along the line towards his captain Jonathan Tah. Andrak Tah once more goes out in towards Andrak, who will in turn play it back to his goalkeeper Kovar. Forward it goes, right foot towards the halfway. Smalling steps out and recovers possession. He's now into the path of Cristante, now towards Paredes. Paredes to Smalling, driving down this left hand side, advancing just in towards Bayer Leverkusen territory now. 40 yards out from goal. Dybala back to Spinazzola, not the most convincing ball back, and Frimpong puts him under some pressure. And now play it back in towards back-pedaling Mancini, reverts up against him, falls back towards Villa. He will launch it for a first time on his right foot towards the halfway, brought down by Andrej. Dinked on, but still contested. Eventually, Karsdorp will bring it down for Roma, plays it back in towards Smalling, short to Dybala, inside his own half. Paredes in possession for Roma. Goes outward towards Smalling on the left-hand side, advancing inside opposition territory. He's got options out to the left, and El Shaarawy is the option that he discovers. Pellegrini, crossfield ball from left to right, pinged on his right foot in towards the path of Dybala, brought down first time, short and back to Cristante, and on the line towards the captain Pellegrini. A sea of white, 5 bodies back, making a defensive line for Leverkusen. Spinazzola edge of the penalty, cross goes in, right footed towards the penalty spot. It was missed by both Cristante and Karsdorp. Cristante first of all, centrally around about 12 yards out, and then Karsdorp towards the back post on the right hand side. It was Spinazzola who put the teasing ball in. Neither Cristante or Karsdorp could get their footing together to get anything to the ball. Karsdorp literally shoving his body at it, but just eludes his right boot. Ball threaded forward by Leverkusen. Frimpong raced to get there, but Villa will get first in the Roma goal. 4.5 minutes of this second half has been played in the Italian capital. It's Roma 0, Leverkusen 1 here in this Europa League semi-final first leg on the flat score library commentary. So it's the winner of this tie will play the winner of the other semi-final between Atalanta and Marseille at the Aviva Stadium in Dublin on 22nd of May. Well, Chris Smalling cleared the ball away. In the end it came off of a deal, at least thought it was, and then it came clattering back off the boot of the Roma man, and so it's going to be a corner to Bayer Leverkusen. Much of the frustration of Daniel De Rossi to be taken on the right hand side. It's the first corner that Leverkusen have had in this match, 50 minutes in. It's taken on the right hand side. It's going to be flung in on the left boot of Florian, of the left boot of Alejandro Grimaldo. Florian Wirtz has dropped back from the conversation. Pinged in left footed towards the back stick and flicked on, and flicked wide of target by a completely detached Piero Hincapié. Well, in amongst it, Leonardo Paredes has gone down inside the penalty area as he was made clear. Piero Hincapié there. So we will resume with a free kick to Roma. Smalling plays it back towards his goalkeeper's Villa, who hasn't been taking the long kicks this evening. Forward it goes on that right hand channel, looking to find Lukaku beyond the halfway, but the ball's going to make its way out for a to Bayer Leverkusen. As far as the league is concerned for Roma this season, 5th, 2 points ahead of Atalanta in 6th, with Atalanta do have a game in hand. Their next 2 league games at home to Juventus on Sunday, then they have to travel to Atalanta on May the 12th. 5th is enough for Champions League football next season. Italy short of 5 Champions League places next season, courtesy of the new rules that are going to be in play. And they may find themselves level here, but Constante's ball forward failed to find Karsdorp on that right-hand side, and so Leverkusen come away with the ball. Driving forward now is Stanisic, and now out it goes into the path of Adil inside the penalty area, cuts it back, looking to find Grimaldo, but stepping in is Spinazzola to get the ball away. Roma's pulled back towards the edge of the D, and Spinazzola manages to release the ball away towards Lukaku, right-hand side in the middle of the Leverkusen half. Wanted reinforcements alongside him. He was a lone straggler up top for Roma as Spinazzola played the ball in towards his path, and then him and Nkape have a bit of a tangling to see the ball go out of play for a Roma throw. 52.5 minutes gone. It's Roma 0, Leverkusen 1. Smalling in possession for the host, looking to play it out towards Spinazzola on the left-hand side, but it's going to trickle out of play for a Bayer Leverkusen goal kick. Well, talking about the magnitude of the task, Daniel De Rossi in his pre-match press conference said, "I fear everything about Leverkusen, but my side have belief and heart," and they have shown that this evening. But there was one lapse defensively that opened up the door for Florian Wirtz midway through the first half, and now they move forward again, and it is that man Wirtz on the right hand side, 35 yards out from goal, short to the path for Frimpong, edge of the air, look to unleash it first time, he's back to goal, out towards the path of Adil on the right hand side, covered by Roma. Smalling going to shift out towards Dybala, one back by Xhaka, ball down, chested down by Stanisic on the right hand side, 10 yards inside opposition territory. Andrijk towards Wirtz, short to Andrijk again, Xhaka towards Stanisic, right hand side, midway inside the Roma half. Xhaka once more towards Tapsoba inside his own territory, turns to the back to goal, plays it out towards Xhaka on the right. Andrich forward it goes on his right foot, looking to find Deal, who was around about 35 yards out from goal, but it's going to go straight into the arms of Kovar in the Leverkusen goal. Paredes back towards Smalling. Now on the halfway forward towards Pellegrini, gets the bit of a Tapsoba, but it's going to be picked up by Leverkusen. Tapsoba back into the path of Stanisic, right hand side, forward it goes on his right foot, looking to find Atli, but it's snuffed out by Mancini, and back it goes into the path of Milesvila. Paredes now for Roma. 10 minutes of this second half gone in the Eternal City. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1. Florian Wirtz is striking the 28th minute, the difference between these two sides. Spinazzola though for Roma on the left hand flank, but at 20 yards out from goal, edge of the penalty area, gets better with Frimpong, cross goes in towards the near post, flicked out of play by Stanisic for a Roma corner out on the left hand side, and an opportunity for the Italians to draw level. Reminder that this tie on aggregate was won by a Sochi goal to nil, courtesy of a Roma goal in the first leg, hoping history don't repeat itself. Roma's third corner of the game, Dybala to take on the left hand side, he's in on his left foot towards the near post, flicked on by Cristante, glass wide of goal. Smalling trying to make the run towards the back post to try and tap it home. Golden opportunity from the set piece for Gianrossi. Dybala with the corner kick in towards the near post. It was pinpoint as Cristante got himself clear of Grimaldo. Glanced his header on towards the back stick, just wide of goal. Smalling tried to make the run towards the back post to try and head home from close range, and now at the other end Leverkusen move with Frimpong on the right hand side. Spinazzola steps out and regathers the ball only as far as Stanisic. This is Xhaka, Frimpong, Atli right hand side, and ball from him sees Roma win a free kick. Left hand side towards the edge of their own penalty area. It's been an equaliser at Villa Park. 53 minutes in there. Aston Villa 2, Olympiacos 2, and you can listen to that game from the Conference League semi-finals elsewhere this evening on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. This is Cristante in possession, goes out towards Karsdorp along the right-hand channel, but recovered by Leverkusen. This is Wirtz on the left-hand side. Xhaka 30 yards out in the centre. Flicks it out in towards the path of Adli. Wirtz once more. Adli again. This is Incapié. Tar forward towards Andrić. This is Xhaka. Tassoba on the halfway. Forward through the middle in towards the path of Grimaldo. Give and go out towards Andrić. Now Adli on the left-hand side, sets it through to the edge of the box, flicked back by Grimaldo. Going to find Adli again, who eventually gets there. Andrić 30 yards out from goal. Has an effort from distance for the latest of his right foot, but around about 3 or 4 yards wide of Villa's goal. Well, he waited patiently for the opportunity. Andrić decided to eventually have a go from 25 yards out. Strikes it through his right foot. Didn't quite get the venom, didn't quite get the accuracy. Villa could just comfortably watch it go out for the goal kick, but it's been put under pressure of Roma. Pellegrini towards Spinazzola. Forward it goes on the left-hand side towards the halfway where Lukaku's brought down to the ground by Tassoba. It's going to be a Roma free kick on the halfway, out on the left-hand side. 58 minutes gone, and again a little bit of a pushing and a shoving, which was a couple of features of the first half between the sides. Daniel De Rossi, arms stretched out, questioning the decision of the young French referee. Took charge of the second leg of Arsenal's Champions League exit against Bayern Munich. Paredes to take this free kick on the left-hand side, on the halfway for Roma. 58 goal, Roma 0. Leverkusen won the score in this Europa League semi-final first leg. Paredes plays it out along that right-hand side. It's Mancini, threads it forward, right foot in towards the box in front of Lukaku. Flicked away by Tapsoba, brought down by Karsdorp, dinked back down by Dybala, but it's recovered by Adli, and now Leverkusen are away. The ball flashed forward into the path of Frimpong, who paced his way up the pitch, but Villa came out and then cleared the ball out quickly towards Spinazzola on the left-hand side, who's now 25 yards or so from goal. He's got two up against him. Stanisic and Wirtz giving close company. Look to try and play the ball in. Comes off as Stanisic for another Roma corner, again on the left-hand side. It's their fourth of the match. As we approach the hour mark here in the Italian capital, it's going to be Dybala to take. Left-footed from the left-hand side. For a Leverkusen throw, much as Roma wanted the free kick in their favour after the pair had a little bit of an exchange of one another, and Arsenal went flying to the ground from an exchange between himself and Jeremy Frimpong. Diaby with the goal to equalise for Aston Villa in that game instead against Olympiacos in the Conference League, but it looks like Olympiacos going to rediscover their advantages. Angelino looks like he's set to enter the fray and enter proceedings for this particular tie. Ball on the halfway, one back by Smalling, but it's one back by Florian Wirtz, and now Leverkusen move their way forward out towards Frimpong, right hand side inside the penalty area towards the byline, back towards Stanisic. Return, hugs it back towards Xhaka, on the line towards Andrić, has an effort first time into the D, siphoned on his right foot. Cleared away by Karsdorp for Roma. Brought back in by Jonathan Tah. Brought back down by Florian Wirtz. And then cleared out by Andrić with Dybala. In fact, no, that's Pellegrini, my apologies, down limping. Olympiacos have taken the lead against Aston Villa 3-2 that particular match. And we'll take it to Marseille in just a second, but substitution is going to be made. It's going to be Karsdorp to off and be replaced by Angelino. As far as I see is concerned, his 15th appearance on loan from RB Leipzig until the end of the season, and will come on for the final half an hour or so here in Rome, where Leverkusen lead by a goal to nil here in this Europa League semi-final on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. It's forward by Tapsoba. Wirtz going to find Adley. It's going to fall for him in the end. Inside the penalty area, has an effort on his left foot. Roma failed to clear their lines. And then once the effort came in, it came off of El Shawari out for a Roma corner, the Leverkusen corner out on the left-hand side as they attack. 62 minutes gone. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1 here in the Europa League on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Wirtz short to Grimaldo. Back in towards Wirtz again. Cross goes in towards the near stick. Flicked away by Roma, only as far as Frimpong. Goes back towards Xhaka. And about 35 yards out from goal. Along the line towards Andrijk, who lost it in from his right boot towards the path for ties of the penalty area. Back to goal is Tapsoba. Back towards Grimaldo. Has an effort from distance. Around about 25 yards out on his left boot, but it goes high and wide over the goal of Miles Villa. So just to tell you what's happening elsewhere, Atalanta now stands behind Marseille 2-1 in front of that contest, or at least they thought they were. It turns out that it's going to stay 1-1. It's been ruled out for offside. Olympiacos leading Villa by 3-2. Fiorentina lead Bruges by 2-1 in the Conference League. And in the Premier League, into the last few minutes at Stamford Bridge, it's Chelsea 2, Tottenham Hotspur 0. There's Bradley and Cristante are in a bit of a foot race for possession. Ball goes out. It's going to be a throw to Roma on the right-hand side as they move forward in the second period. Reminder as well, it's the last day of the EFL Championship season. Congratulations to Leicester City on securing their promotion back to the Premier League. They also secured the title courtesy of a win against Preston North End on Monday night. It's all about now who's going to make the playoffs and who's going to get the second promotion spot. And we'll talk more about that in just a second as Andrijk has possession on the halfway towards Jonathan Tah. On the halfway now with Granit Xhaka on that left-hand channel, but rediscovered by Roma only temporarily. Grimaldo wins it back towards Adley on the overlap. Cross goes in, looking to find Frimpong on the penalty spot. He was drilled in on his left foot. It's going to trickle all the way out of play for throwing to Roma down on the left-hand side as they attack. City 4 gone, Roma 0, Leverkusen 1. The championship comes to an end this weekend. Ipswich Town need just a solitary point against relegation threatened Huddersfield Town. As for Leeds United, they take on 4th place Southampton on Saturday. Norwich City and West Brom occupy the final 2 playoff spots, although West Brom lost their last 3, and a win for Hull and defeat for West Brom would mean that Hull City would sneak into the final playoff spot. Meanwhile, down the bottom, well, it's Plymouth, Birmingham, Huddersfield, you sense are going to be fighting for that final spot for safety as far as the championship are concerned. Those games at 12:30 on Saturday afternoon. You can follow it on the Flash Score app, which you can download via the Apple App Store or via Google Play, and every single playoff game will be available with you here across Flash Score. Meanwhile, 25 minutes to go here in Rome. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1. Rome on the attack on the right-hand side. El Shawari pressing the ball in on his right foot. It's absolutely nobody, and Stanisic can get it away and in fact leave it for Bayer Leverkusen throw. As the Bundesliga is concerned, 3 more games to go for Bayer Leverkusen this term. Next up for them at the weekend, it's a trip to Eintracht Frankfurt, the 4:30 game for away game against Bochum, and then ending the season at home to Augsburg, where they will get their first Meisterschale title, and they'll get to lift that trophy aloft at long last. So Xhaka in possession on the right hand side, 5 yards inside the Roma half, goes back towards Jonathan Tah inside his own territory. Tah once more following a give and go with Gapi. This is Tapsoba on the right hand side with Lukaku pressing through the middle towards Wirtz, who turns with his back to goal on the halfway. And it goes and in towards the path of Incape. He's got options out towards the left-hand side. Ronaldo inside the penalty area. Couldn't get the better of El Shawari, who comes away with the ball for Roma, but it's going to fall in towards the path of Jonathan Tah for Bayer Leverkusen towards Android. 5 yards from the edge of Roma territory. Everybody retreated back in the Giallorossi colours. Tabzoba, right hand side, 5 yards inside Roma half. A little give and go by Stanisic, hoping that Frimpong could get on the end of it, but Spinazzola's going to come away with the ball for Roma along the left hand channel, but the ball went out of play. In fact, the linesman has given a free kick to Roma. He put his flag out, the referee gave the call. Venezuela in possession in the Roma goal. On the right hand side it goes really through the middle, but picked up by Android loosely for Leverkusen. Out towards Xhaka, forward towards Grimaldo, goes out towards Wirtz, left hand side, gets a bit of El Shaarawy, plays it back towards the edge of the penalty area towards Android, but he goes to ground and the free kick goes in Roma's direction as Stefan El Shaarawy raises arms aloft to try and get this Stadio Olimpico crowd on their feet. The atmosphere prior to kick-off here was quite the spectacle, but it's just been quiet and down somewhat in the past few minutes. 2-2 between Fiorentina and Club Brugge now. Thiago with the goal in the 63rd minute for the Belgian side. And in fact, there's been an Italian team at least in the final of that Conference League in the first two runnings of that competition. It was Roma the first ever winners of the Conference League back in 2022. Fiorentina lost out in the final to West Ham United in that competition last term. It's Roma with possession with Cristante right hand side in the middle of the Leverkusen half. Dybala out towards the far right hand touchline towards Cristante again. El Shaarawy being penned in by Wirtz, and Leverkusen come away with the ball in the end. Cape goes out towards Wirtz, got Grimaldo and Adli in front of him. Wirtz, right hand side, inside Roma territory now, towards Xhaka, who drives through the middle, out to the left and towards Adli. 25 from goal with Shaarawy in front of him, plays it back into the path of Wirtz. This is Andrei into the penalty area. Jerome Frimpong steps inside, gets the better. Spinazzola has an effort on his left foot, which will go over the bar. Well, they're trying at Leverkusen. It hasn't quite materialised the major opportunities in the second half, quite like they did towards the latter end of the opening period, where there was swathe of attack after swathe of attack. But as we approach the final 20 minutes or so here at the Stadio Olimpico, they have a one-goal lead to protect. Florian Wirtz's goal in the 28th minute, following a mistake by Karsdorp at the back for Roma. The difference between the two sides so far. His fourth Europa League goal of the season, as Leverkusen look to make it back to the Europa League final. Winners of this competition back in 1988. Roma never won this title. They've been runners-up twice in the UEFA Cup / Europa League. Last season, of course, against Sevilla, 4-1 on penalties following a 1-1 draw. The ball finds its way towards the penalty, cleared away by Tabzoba. Originally it was Hincapié who got it clear from Cristante. It's going to be a Roma throw-in on the right-hand side, 25 yards out from goal as we approach the final 20 minutes. We're into the final 20 minutes now. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service in the Europa League semi-final first leg. Cross-field ball by Dybala out towards Angelino, hooks it back in, flicked on by El Shaarawy, away by Andrei. Now Grimaldo in possession, goes out towards Adli. Xhaka looking to find Adli on that left hand side again, but one back by Roma. This is Pellegrini towards Mancini, right hand side, ball goes in towards the penalty spot, only half cleared but not picked up or pounced upon by Pellegrini, but Angelino recovers on the left hand side, plays the ball in first time on his left foot towards the near post, but it's a comfortable take for Matej Kovar in the Leverkusen goal, who's been the Europa League goalkeeper for Leverkusen this term. Lukas Hradecky has been the main man between the sticks for Leverkusen in the league campaign this term. And if things ain't bad enough for Roma, well, Xabi Alonso is contemplating some changes, and some of the names on the bench make for worrying reading. Patrick Schick, Nathan Teller, Victor Boniface to name just 3. The control that they had was just beginning to be wrestled away from them, and Xabi Alonso has acknowledged that fact as we enter the final 18 minutes plus stoppage time here in Rome. Roma 0, Leverkusen 1 in the Europa League semi-final first leg tie in the Stadio Olimpico in Rome. Xhaka turning back to goal, 5 yards from the edge of the opposition half. Plays a lovely direct ball through towards Grimaldo in the centre, who now finds himself in the area. He's got options just behind of him, pulls it back to Frimpong, now towards Stanisic, edge of the D, towards Andrei, who's going to fire an effort into the back of the net. 2-0 Leverkusen, and it's Robert Andrich with a goal. Just as Xabi Alonso's about to ready some substitutions, has Robert Andrich added a second for Bayer Leverkusen. 17 minutes on time. 2-0 lead for Leverkusen. Now things have boiled over. A scuffle towards the edge of the penalty area involving pretty much every outfield player on the pitch. Roma thought play should have stopped for a foul. Leverkusen played on and scored, and now have full control of this tie as both sets of sides lose control of their tempers and emotions. And still the arguments go on, and still the fingers get pointed, and still there's pushing and shoving in there, and still the flashpoints continue. Xabi Alonso moves over to the opposition bench, more to pacify the situation than anything else. He's being pulled away by the fourth official, and the referee Francois Letexier wants to bring both captains and both managers over. It got a bit messy after Robert Andrich, with his first Europa League goal of the season, made it 2-0. A lovely ball forward in towards the path of Grimaldo. Had to turn his back to goal inside the area towards Frimpong, who laid it off towards Stanisic, and then Robert Andrich from around about 20 yards out has an effort for the laces of his right boot in towards the top left-hand corner to double Bayer Leverkusen's lead. Looped past a helpless Miles Vila in the AS Roma goal, and Granit Xhaka and Spinazzola find themselves in the book for their protestations and confrontations following that particular incident, that particular flashpoint. The second goal scored by Robert Andrich in the 73rd minute. Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2, and Leverkusen going to ready a couple of changes. It's going to be Jonas Hoffmann, who scored from the bench against West Ham United in the first leg of their quarter-final tie, and Nathan Teller, who's going to come on to see out the final quarter of an hour of proceedings here in Rome. It's 75 minutes gone. It's Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2 here in this Europa League semi-final first leg here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. And we're playing down on the floor, and now it's Andrich's turn to find himself in the book, the goal scorer of the second. Vala, the player, down on the deck following a nudge in the back of him on the halfway. Andrich frailing his arm up in the air to tell him his disgust in regards to that decision. When the changes are going to be made, there's going to be Florian Wirtz, whose last action is to tell the referee about the decision he got wrong, and he's going to be replaced by Hoffmann. And then Adley is going to be replaced by Nathan Teller for the final 14 minutes or so that remain here. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Play gets back underway with the free kick. Swung in by Pellegrini, right-footed from around about 30 yards out. Smalling was lurking at the back post but cleared away, and now Leverkusen move away. Teller driving forward. Frimpong out on the right-hand side. Goes to ground by Constante, who gets a yellow card and a free kick. And again, tempers just begin to flare once more between both sets of players. Teller speeding away before Constante tripped him up and tripped him down. Kick to Leverkusen just off centre towards the right-hand side as Constante becomes the third Roma player in the book. Free kick to be taken around about 35 yards out. It's going to be Jonas Hoffmann to take. We have 12.5 minutes to go here in the Eternal City. Swung in right-footed towards the back post. Flicked away by Pellegrini. Picked up by Grimaldo, edge of the box left-hand side. Goes back towards Andra, the scorer of the second. Frimpong, 30 yards out from goal. Right-hand side, looking to get the cross in on his right foot. Plays it along the line in towards the path of Hoffmann. Plays it along the line, around about 10 yards out. Cleared away by Roma. And let out for a throw-in by Stanisic for Bayer Leverkusen. As Roma ready two changes of their own. It's going to see Kaku come off in placement of Sada Azmoun. Then Redes replaced by Balzani for the final 11 and a half minutes that remain here at the Olimpico. Roma managing to clear the ball away in the end. This is Smalling for Roma, who have got 11 minutes to try and salvage something from this first leg tie to take to Leverkusen around about this, well, bang on this time next week. You see substitute, Spinazzola, cleared away by Kova for Leverkusen. Pellegrini in towards the possession of Smalling. Pellegrini once more for Roma as we enter close towards the final 10 minutes of this first leg tie here at the Stadio Olimpico. Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2 here on the Flash Score live audio commentary service. This is Smalling on the halfway. He's got options out to either side and elects to play it back into the half of Balzani. Spinazzola now. Angelino out to his left-hand side. Plays it out towards Mancini, who's been put under pressure by Teller. Out towards the far left-hand touchline, towards Constante now, 35 yards out from goal. Played back by Dybala and towards the palm of Spinazzola, more central position now, towards the edge of the penalty area. Everybody back from a Leverkusen perspective. Angelino's cross goes in, left-footed on the left-hand side, cleared by Tapsoba, only as far as Smalling, who steps out and brings it back in the middle for Roma. Final 10 minutes here. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2. Following Wirtz's goal in the 28th minute, followed by Android's goal in the 73rd minute. The difference between the two sides here in the Eternal City. This is Chris Smalling in possession. Back towards Spinazzola, who's got Frimpong close by. Teller was also keeping a watchful eye on proceedings. This is Dybala having to do the work himself. El Shawari going back towards Dybala once more. Switched out towards Chris Smalling on the halfway for Roma. Now Constante out to Mancini, forward along the right-hand side it goes with Pellegrini. Cross goes in by footed in towards the path of Moon. Around about the penalty spot, but every touch from him sees the ball comfortably collected by Kovari on the Bayer Leverkusen goal. And now it's the German side to get going at the other end. Frimpong with Stanisic making the overlapping run. Plays it infield though towards Granit Xhaka. This is Hoffmann, the substitute. This is Jonathan Tah on the halfway. Forward and out on the left-hand side towards Grimaldo. Cappe halfway towards Tapsoba. Driving now is Stanisic on that right-hand flank. But losing out, and now Dybala on the halfway. Regathers possession for Roma. chips it out, left footed in towards the path for Azmoun, but he couldn't quite get on the end of Dybala's crossfield ball. It's going to go out for a Leverkusen throw as we approach the final 8 minutes plus stoppage time here in the Italian capital. Roma 0, Bayer Leverkusen 2 here in this Europa League semi-final as Granit Xhaka finds himself down on the ground for Leverkusen. Remind it finished Chelsea 2, Tottenham 0 in the Premier League. The other Europa League semi-final first leg is Marseille 1, Atalanta 1. And in the Conference League, Aston Villa 2, Olympiacos 4, and Fiorentina 2, Club Brugge 2, and Bruges find themselves down to 10 in that particular encounter. We'll have Premier League action for you on Saturday and throughout the course of the weekend. Kicks off with Luton v Everton tomorrow night from 8, for Arsenal, Bournemouth, Brentford, Fulham, Burnley, Newcastle, Sheffield United, Nottingham Forest and Manchester City against Wolves is our Saturday action. Sunday, Brighton, Aston Villa, Chelsea, West Ham, Liverpool against Tottenham and Crystal Palace against Manchester United is your Monday night game. Meanwhile here, possession stats have been quite even in this game. 51% for Roma compared to the 49% of Bayer Leverkusen, but what Leverkusen have done with the ball in hand has been much more provocative, scoring twice with a little possession they have had in comparison to that of Roma, who have had opportunity but not really converted, but they may do now. The ball's in towards Azmoun, who has an effort on his left foot. The ball was threaded through to him by Spinazzola from around about 25 yards out towards the penalty spot, but it was Nkape who made the big run back to stop him in his tracks, made the challenge as he had a go at goal and straight into the path of Kovar between the sticks for Bayer Leverkusen. But they come forward again, but snuffed out by Andrei, but not fully. This is Azmoun into the penalty area, out towards El Shaarawy. Does well to keep the ball in play as Nkape up against him. Back to Dybala, Mancini. Dybala goes down. Ball goes in towards El Shaarawy. It falls for him. Has an effort on his right foot. Blocked and free up against him on the rebound. Cleared away by Leverkusen, only as far as Angelino on the halfway. Smalling. Back to Angelino again. Smalling. Shorten along the line towards Dybala. Out towards the right hand flank in towards Mancini. Pellegrini. Crossed in by Barzani for another throw into Roma as we approach the final 5 minutes of normal time. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2 the score here in this Europa League semi-final first leg on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Reminder, 1-1 in France. They're 3 minutes ahead of us. The 88th minute between Marseille and Atalanta, both semi-final second legs available with you here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service next Thursday. Roma in possession in the middle of their own half with Spinazzola on the left hand side. Steps inside of Stanisic, now towards Cristante. Threaded forward, brought down by Azmoun, but Tapsoba does well to recover and then regain possession, and then the flag goes up for side against Sardar Azmoun for AS Roma. A little bit enthusiastic in terms of his run, getting the better of Tapsoba, but just a shade too early. Well, 4 minutes plus stoppage time to preserve that incredible unbeaten record for Xabi Alonso's men. Played 47 and undefeated in 47. It would be quite the achievement for a side that defying the logics and breaking the records week after week. There used to be a tagline with this football club of Bayer Leverkusen because of their lack of trophies and lack of success, but this season they have righted all of those wrongs as Ezequiel Palacios has come on for the final few minutes of this particular first leg tie. Meanwhile, Roma look to move their way forward. Dybala on the half, switching it out towards the right hand side from the left flank. El Shaarawy Draw towards Dybala once more, 10 yards inside opposition territory. This is Cristante now. Steps outfield towards the right hand side, gets the better of Nathan Teller. Swung in by Mancini in towards the penalty spot, where it's flicked away by Xhaka before Pellegrini could lurk from in and around that penalty spot. Mancini again, midway inside Leverkusen territory, Smalling back to Spinazzola. Internal player out in towards the path of Balzani. Cross goes in, right-footed, and the player will go for a Leverkusen goal kick with 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this one in the Eternal City. And substitution is going to be made. It's going to be Frimpong to come on for Palacios for the final couple of minutes or so, a normal time in this particular first leg game. Meanwhile, at Villa Park, Aston Villa have missed a penalty. 6 minutes of normal time plus stoppage time to go. They're 4-2 down against Olympiacos and have missed a penalty to reduce the gap to 4-3. You can listen to that one elsewhere this evening on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service as we approach the final couple of minutes of normal time here in the Italian capital. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2, the score here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. Ball launch forward beyond their halfway by Kovar, one back by Cristante on the halfway, out towards Pellegrini, left hand side, way inside the Leverkusen half. Goes to a ball, struggling on his right boot, held by Kovar between the sticks. Palacios with his first touch, plays it out towards Stanisic. Now Granit Xhaka for Leverkusen through the middle, and nearly fell for Stanisic in the end. Grimaldo initially getting the ball and actually going to win the free kick for Leverkusen. Final minutes of normal time. It's fingernail biting time, especially now the ball's played through to Hoffman, but Villa does well to come out and then parry the ball away for Rome. Smalling towards the edge of his penalty area, being pressed out towards Leonardo Spinazzola. Finished in Marseille, finished in France. Marseille 1, Atalanta 1 in that particular time. How's this one going to end? Leverkusen look as if they're going to be taking a hefty advantage to Germany this time next week. That second time between Marseille and Atalanta very much finally poised and finally in the balance. Final 30 seconds of normal time. Rome with possession, threaded forward by Moon, but it's one back by Leverkusen. Now Grimaldo charges. Going to play it back into the path of Palacios, but it's recovered by Angelino, who played it out along that right hand flank. He'll go for a Roma throw on the right hand side. Even if it's not enough to win them or get anything from the game, you'll see something to take to the second leg as we enter the first of 4 minutes added on at the end of this one. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2 here on the Flash Score Live audio commentary service. This is Spinazzola on the left hand side with Nathan Teller keeping him close company. Gets the better of him, gets the better of Palacios. Steps inside, edge of the D, into the penalty area it goes. Pellegrini to Spinazzola. Pellegrini still with two up against him, but cleared away eventually by Jonathan Tah for Bayer Leverkusen. It will be a throw into the Germans, who gets a high five from his teammates for his troubles. Reminder of our action across Flash Score in just a second, but Roma sub Paulo Dybala will depart, and Tammy Abraham's going to come on to see whether they can find a late goal. Late goal which will at least bring something back to Roma around about this time next week. Forward it goes by Leverkusen the throw, but recovered well by Spinazzola. This is Angelino in possession now. Chris Smalling on the halfway. Angelino. Played out in towards the path of Mancini, out towards the right hand side. Crossed in by Balzani. Cleared away by Leverkusen and in particular by Andrijk, but still been brought down convincingly until now. It's cleared away by Stanisic on that right flank. Throw into Roma. De Rossi gives the ball over to Spinazzola. Now Chris Smalling goes out towards Mancini on that right hand side, but one back by Leverkusen, and it nearly fell for Palacios, but Smalling does well to recover and get the ball back. And now driving forward is Cristante. Leverkusen ready to bring on Odessa Konusu very shortly. Cross goes in by Spinazzola, flicked away, brought back down by Palacios for Leverkusen, and then hooked clear by Andreichen. Going to see Zunu come on now for the final few minutes of play, just to shore things up for Leverkusen. It's going to be Grimaldo that's going to come off in his place. For the final minute of added time here in Rome. It's Roma 0, Leverkusen 2. The German side looking as if they're going to be taking a 2-goal lead to the Bayer Arena next Thursday. This is Spinazzola in the final minutes of added time for Roma. Threading the ball forward in towards the edge of the penalty area. It's laid back, nearly found Pellegrini around about 10 yards out. It's cleared away by Leverkusen, flicked on by Smalling on the halfway, out towards the right-hand side. This is Spinazzola driving down this right-hand flank, around about 25 yards out from goal, out towards Dybala. Cross goes in, going to find Abraham in and around the penalty spot. So we brought down by Angelino, pays it back in again towards Azmoun, and now still lurking. Abraham heads it over the bar for around about 4 yards out. A major opportunity for the English striker. Angelino hooks the ball in. It's not convincingly cleared. In matter of fact, Kovar and Tar get inside each other's way. And then led the opportunity for Abraham, who glances his header over the bar. He's only been on the pitch for a couple of minutes, but he's had a major opportunity, and an opportunity which goes a-begging as we go into time, beyond added time here in Rome. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2. Looks as if they've done enough to see the job through now at Xabi Alonso's side. This is Palacios. There could be room for more, but it's snuffed out by Cristante at 12 yards out. Slotted the ball home on his right foot in towards the bottom right hand corner after Karsdorp gave away possession cheaply. Game, you feel. On the halfway, Roma have it, but snuffed out by Teller, and now they drive for a third on this right hand side. Teller moves infield towards the middle. He's got Hoffman out towards his left. Palacios through the middle. He has the ball inside the penalty, back to goal. Steps inside, has an effort. It's a tame one, half cleared. The ball will go for a Leverkusen throw. Right hand side. And in fact, that will be that. And it's going to be Bayer Leverkusen who take a 2-goal lead to the Bayer Arena next week. It is 47-0 for Xabi Alonso's men. Their incredible unbeaten season goes on. Daniel De Rossi's side gave them some scares early on and created some opportunities towards the end. And it was Florian Wirtz who broke the deadlock midway through the first half before Robert Andrijk did similar midway through the second. It's Leverkusen who take a 2-goal lead to Germany next week. It's finished here. Roma 0, Leverkusen 2.